Hey friends, Arthur here. I want you to lean in for this one, because it's a doozy. A recent survey found that about a third of Americans earning over $250,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. Let that sink in. A $250,000 salary. And they're still sweating it out until payday. How is it possible that a huge income boost can actually leave you feeling more financially fragile than before? It sounds completely backwards, but it's a slippery financial trap that millions fall into, often without even realizing it. You know the feeling. You finally land that big promotion, you get that sweet, life-changing raise. And you think, this is it. My money problems are over. You start picturing yourself on a yacht, or at the very least, buying the fancy organic avocados at the grocery store without having a minor panic attack in the produce aisle. But then, a few months roll by, and that extra cash has mysteriously vanished. Poof! Gone. Your bank account looks suspiciously like it did before the raise, and you're left scratching your head, wondering where it all went. That's because your wants have a sneaky habit of turning into needs the second you have more money. The new car payment, the bigger apartment, the subscription boxes you can't live without. Suddenly your new normal costs exactly as much as your new, bigger paycheck. This is lifestyle inflation, also known as lifestyle creep, and it is the single most destructive, yet invisible, force working against your wealth. It is the silent killer of savings accounts everywhere. So today, we're going to put on our detective hats and expose this bizarre financial paradox. We'll break down the sneaky psychology that makes us spend every extra dime we earn. Why our brains are literally wired to self-sabotage our own financial goals. And most importantly, lay out the simple, actionable steps you can take to finally get off this treadmill for good. Ready to figure out how to make your money stay with you for once? Let's dive in. Part 1. The Lifestyle Creep Trap. So, how does this spiral start? It almost never begins with a giant, reckless purchase. It starts with a single, tiny, completely justifiable upgrade. Meet Alex. He just got a well-deserved $10,000 raise. He's not thinking about buying a yacht. He's thinking, I work hard. I deserve a better cup of coffee. So Alex swaps his $2 drip coffee for a $5 vanilla latte. It's a small change, but it feels good. It's a little taste of his new, more successful life. But then something strange happens. Holding that fancy latte, his homemade tuna sandwich suddenly looks pathetic. The new coffee needs a better lunch to go with it. So long, sad desk lunch, hello, $15 artisanal sandwich. This domino effect has a name, the Diderot effect. The term was coined by an anthropologist and named after French philosopher Denis Diderot, who wrote about how getting a fancy new dressing gown made him suddenly hate all his old furniture. One new, high-status item can make everything else you own feel inadequate, triggering a chain reaction of consumption. Suddenly, Alex's sensible old car feels dumpy parked outside the hip new lunch spot. His phone feels slow. His apartment seems cramped. That one little latte opened a Pandora's box of desire. Each upgrade doesn't satisfy him, it just makes him aware of the next thing that needs upgrading. Before he knows it, he's got a new car payment, a bigger rent bill, and a closet full of clothes that match his new lifestyle. And here's the really twisted part. After a few months, none of this feels like a luxury anymore. It feels normal. This is a psychological trap called the hedonic treadmill or hedonic adaptation. It's our brain's tendency to quickly get used to positive changes, returning us to our original baseline level of happiness. That initial thrill from the new car or the fancy coffee fades. But the monthly payments don't. You're now running faster and faster on this treadmill, spending more and more money just to feel the same level of happiness you had before the raise. Your brain's happiness set point has reset, but your budget is permanently damaged. Let us do the math on Alex's small upgrades. His 10,000 raise, after taxes, is about 7,000. The coffee upgrade costs about $780 a year. The lunch upgrade, another $2,600. A modest new car payment adds for $1,800 a year. Suddenly, his small upgrades add up to over $8,000 a year. He hasn't just spent his entire raise, he's actually gone into debt to fund it. This is the core of the lifestyle creep trap. The raise doesn't feel like a tool to build wealth. It feels like a permission slip to spend more. What were once luxuries quickly become necessities, and your spending rises to meet and often exceed your new income. The trap isn't the single big purchase, it's the slow, silent inflation of your everyday life until there's nothing left to save. Part 2. Your brain's money glitches. So if lifestyle creep is the what, we now need to uncover the why. Why are our brains so ridiculously bad at handling more money? It turns out, our financial programming is full of glitches, bugs left over from a time when our biggest financial decision was who to trade a shiny rock with. And the first glitch is a doozy. It is called mental accounting, a concept from Nobel Prize-winning economist Richard Thaler. It's our brain's weird tendency to put money into different imaginary buckets and then treat those buckets completely differently. The money is identical, but the story we tell ourselves about it changes everything. Think about it. Let us say you get a $5,000 tax refund. Your brain doesn't file this under serious adult money. Nope. It gets dumped into the fun money bucket. It feels like a surprise gift from the universe, like house money at a casino. And what do you do with fun money? You have fun. You splurge on that vacation or that gadget you've been eyeing. But if you got a 5,000 raise spread out over the year in your regular paycheck, you treat it completely differently. That money is from the hard-earned salary bucket. It's serious. It goes toward bills, savings, maybe chipping away at debt. It's the exact same amount of money, but the label your brain slaps on it dictates its destiny. This glitch is why a huge bonus can vanish in a month, while your normal salary is carefully managed. The bonus gets coded as extra, so the rules don't apply. You give yourself permission to be reckless with it. This is one of the most expensive quirks of our financial minds, leading us to waste the very windfalls that could have actually catapulted us toward our goals. The second brain glitch is even more powerful in our modern world: social comparison. We are wired to look at what others are doing to figure out how we're doing. It used to be about keeping up with your neighbors. Now, thanks to social media, we're trying to keep up with the entire planet's highlight reel. You scroll through your phone, and what do you see? Your friend from college is in Italy. A creator you follow just unboxed a new luxury car. Your cousin is showing off a kitchen renovation. This constant firehose of curated success creates a powerful, often subconscious, pressure to spend just to keep up. Suddenly, your planned camping trip feels pathetic compared to that Italian vacation. Your perfectly good car feels old. This is what psychologists call an upward social comparison, and it's a major driver of aspirational spending. We see what others have, and it triggers a desire to match that perceived status. The statistics on this are staggering. One survey found that a whopping 95% of people believe social media has caused them to spend more money than they would have otherwise. And with nearly a third of people admitting they've gone into financial trouble trying to keep up with what they see online. This isn't a small problem. So when you get that raise, this glitch kicks into overdrive. Your social circle starts to change. Your friends are going to more expensive restaurants, taking nicer vacations. The social baseline shifts upwards, and you feel an intense pressure to participate. You're not just buying things, you're buying social validation. These two glitches, mental accounting and social comparison, form a toxic combination. The raise comes in, your brain codes it as play money, and at the exact same time, your social feed is showing you 1,000 new ways to spend it to keep up. It is a perfect storm that turns a financial win into a one-way ticket to staying broke. Part 3. The shifting goalposts. So, your brain's glitches have you treating your raise like casino winnings. And your social feed is giving you a million bad ideas. But there's a deeper reason why getting everything you thought you wanted can leave you feeling empty. It's the moment the thrill of the chase is replaced by the crushing reality of, now what? This is the cruel logic of the hedonic treadmill. Our brains have a baseline for happiness, a kind of set point. When something good happens, like getting a new car, our happiness spikes. But then it very quickly returns to that same baseline. The new car just becomes the car. It's the new normal. Scientists famously studied this with a group of people who experienced the ultimate financial fantasy, winning the lottery. They wanted to know if this massive, life-altering pile of cash would create permanent, lasting happiness. The results were stunning. After the initial jackpot euphoria wore off, the lottery winners were no happier than the control group, who didn't win a dime. In fact, they reported getting significantly less pleasure from everyday things, like reading a magazine or talking with a friend. Their happiness levels simply reset to the factory settings, but with a dangerous side effect: ordinary life now felt boring by comparison. Their brains had adapted to the new wealth, and the thrill was gone. And this is where it gets financially lethal. Your happiness might reset, but your credit card bill doesn't. That bigger car payment, that higher rent, that more expensive lifestyle, that's your new baseline of expenses. You're now stuck paying for a level of luxury that no longer gives you a thrill. So what does your brain do? It starts looking for the next hit. That new car was a 10 out of 10 thrill, but now it's a 6. To get back to a 10, you now need something even bigger, even more expensive. You're trapped in a cycle of escalating desires, spending more and more just to feel the same level of happiness you started with. The hedonic treadmill ensures that the finish line for enough is always moving. It's a psychological trap that turns a salary increase into a faster spin on a wheel that's going nowhere, costing you more and more just to stay in the exact same place. Part 4. The hidden costs of success. So, your brain's happiness meter has reset, but the financial damage is just getting started. Because even if you dodge the psychological traps, your new success comes with a set of secret fees and hidden surcharges you never saw on the job offer. First up is the sneakiest one: tax bracket creep. When you get a big raise, you might accidentally punch your ticket into a higher tax bracket. Now, this doesn't mean your entire salary gets taxed at the new higher rate. That's a common myth. Our progressive tax system is more like filling a series of buckets. You fill the first bucket at the lowest rate, say 10%. Once that's full, the next chunk of your income spills into the next bucket, which gets taxed at 12%, and so on. The raise means you're just pouring more money into that top bucket. And that specific extra cash gets hit with your highest marginal tax rate. So while you're celebrating a 20% raise, you might only see a 14% increase in your actual take-home pay because Uncle Sam's cut got bigger. It is a financial head fake that makes your big win feel surprisingly smaller. Next up is the time famine tax. That high-paying job often demands more of your most valuable asset, your time. Suddenly, you're reworking longer hours and the tasks you used to handle yourself like cooking, cleaning, or laundry become impossible. So what do? You start paying to buy back your life. You're no longer just buying a burrito, you're buying back the hour you don't have to cook. You're not just hiring a cleaner, you're buying back your Saturday morning. These aren't luxuries anymore, they feel like survival tools. And they add up fast. The average American already spends over $1,500 a year on food delivery. A weekly house cleaning service can easily run you another several $100s a month. It's a constant, low-grade bleed of cash, all to service the demands of the very job that was supposed to make you rich. Finally, there's the cost of belonging. As you climb the ladder, the social and professional landscape changes. The casual after-work drink spot gets replaced by a cocktail bar where the peanuts probably have a mortgage. Your colleagues are going on ski trips, not just to the local hill, but to Aspen. The wedding invitations you get are now for 3-day destination events in another country. The pressure to participate isn't just internal anymore. It's an unspoken requirement of your new role and social circle. Saying no feels like you're not a team player or that you don't fit in. So you swipe the card, telling yourself it's an investment in your career. But in reality, it's just another hidden tax on your success, making sure your expenses rise in perfect lockstep with your income. These hidden costs, the tax creep, the time-saving services, and the social upgrades create a financial cage. Your high salary becomes the fuel to maintain an expensive, demanding lifestyle that you can't escape without taking a pay cut, which you can no longer afford. And that, my friends, is the final, crushing reason why making more money can leave you feeling more broke than ever. You didn't just get a raise, you opted into a whole new, more expensive operating system without reading the terms and conditions. So, is the whole game rigged? Kind of. But now you know the rules. If this video helped you see the code in the matrix, do me a solid and bonk that like button. My landlord only accepts payment in validated engagement metrics. See ya.